Hello everyone, Fugeki here, and I welcome you to my fishing guide. So for those who have been hanging out on stream, you should know that I was planning to release a fishing guide using some of my free stream footage, and I'm releasing it right now, as you can see. In the 15 years of playing WoW, I've never ever leveled cooking and fishing to max level in regards to the expansion, and I thought I really wanted to do this time because I'm preparing for TBC, and I think that cooking and fishing together is going to be a potentially good moneymaker for TBC, and I want to make sure to set myself up for success. So if you're in the same boat, then this fishing guide is going to be perfect for you as well. Now, a little disclaimer, I play Alliance and my character is already level 60, so this guide is more tailored towards already level 60 characters that just want to blitz from 0 to 300 their fishing and cooking. However, if you want to use that as you level in Alliance, you can still use it, but it might not be optimal if you seek to just rush your way to level 60 as fast as possible, for example during pre-patch leveling or Drain Eye or something. So keep that in mind. For me, it took me about 10 hours of gameplay to get there, and this guide is going to be literally a step-by-step guide with screenshots, and everything is going to be written in the description of the video as well, of where you need to go, who you need to talk to, what you need to buy. And if you follow this step-by-step, it should take you between maybe 8 to 10 hours to be able to achieve that, depending on how lucky you are with some loot. So enjoy the guide. If you have any comment, leave them in the comment. If you like the videos, make sure to press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification side if you want to have notification on the upcoming videos I'm going to be releasing as pre-patch is arriving and as TBC is going to be launching. So thank you very much and enjoy the guide. Alright, so the first thing you want to do on your fishing journey is head in front of the inn in Goldshire, where you will be meeting a character named Theron Bowden. Theron Bowden is a trade supplier where you will be buying 5 shiny bubbles. You will also be buying the recipe for the Longjaw Mud Snapper, as well as the recipe for Brilliant Smallfish. So the next steps consist of learning how to fish, as well as catching your first fishes. The place you will do so is at Stone Cairn Lake, right behind Goldshire. There, on the little dock behind the house, you will find a fisherman called Lee Brown. Speak to Lee Brown to learn your first set of skills of fishing all the way to 75. Right next to Lee Brown, there will be another character where you'll be able to buy your first fishing pole from. After this, simply turn around and you can start fishing in Stone Cairn Lake. Don't forget to use the shiny bubble on your fishing pole to increase your fishing skill and help you catch fish quicker. What you're looking for here is to catch 60 brilliant small fish as well as 60 longjaw mudfish. Once you've gathered your 120 fish, simply turn around, talk to Lee Brown once again, and learn the fishing skills all the way to 150. Once this is done, you can leave the premises and head towards the inn. Towards the back of the inn, there is a cook named Thomas, from which you can learn cooking skills all the way to level 75. After this, simply stand beside the fire and start cooking all of the fishes that are in your bag. Make sure to learn the appropriate recipe when you reach the required skill level, and when you are reaching the 75 skill level, make sure to talk to Thomas Cook again in order to learn your cooking skills all the way to 150. After upgrading your skills to 150, simply return to the fire and cook the rest of the mudfishes that are left in your bag. This should bring you to about 110 skills in cooking. So the next part of our journey takes us to Desolis, but keep in mind that this is an optional part. It is not required, but I would still highly recommend it. Basically, we go to the southwest of Shadowprey Village and we swim into the Veiled Sea around this area, as highlighted on the map right now. And there we will be opening the shellfish traps at the bottom of the sea for a chance to loot the big iron fishing pole. This fishing pole is one of the best fishing poles that you can have in the game, particularly for Alliance players, and it basically gives us 20 more fishing skills. So if you have an hour to spare, make sure to go down there, swim. It took me about an hour to get mine. Make sure to bring some either, swimming speed potion or elixir of water breathing or anything that would make your journey a little bit easier. Now, since we are already on Kalimdor, from the fishing place in Desolis, whether you want to go to Nigel's Point to the north or to Feralas to the south, the distance is approximately the same. But what's important is that you fly all the way to Astranar in Ashenvale. There, you travel east and you would go to Mistral Lake to talk to an NPC called Chandria, because Chandria sells the expert cookbook that will allow you to increase your cooking skill all the way to 225. So as an Alliance player, I'm assuming that our Earthstone is probably set in Stormwind. So at the end of the Desolate trip, we will be using our Hearthstone to Stormwind, and the next part of our journey, although it is not mandatory to do it right now, would highly recommend doing it now because it would save us a lot of traveling time for the future. So since we are in Stormwind, we are just going to go and fly to Booty Bay. And in Booty Bay, we're going to be talking with Old Man Hemming, a fisherman, which sells the fishing book that would allow us to increase our fishing skill all the way to 225. After finishing talking with Old Man Hemming, we will go in the big warehouse looking building that has a lot of vendor towards the boat to go to the other continent. And in there is a cook called Kelsey Jans. Now Kelsey sells many fishing recipe. The one that interests us is the fillet of redgill, but you can still feel free to buy the sagefish delight as well as the mithril head trout right now if you'd want to. So after our long travels for our preparations, we can now finally go back to fishing again. The next location is behind the inn in Southshore and the river to the east of there. Over there is a river that will drop bristle whisker catfish. What we will be doing there is not catch a particular amount of fish, but make sure that we catch enough fish until our fishing skill reach 150, but also until we are able to cook our fishes all the way to 150 cooking as well. So once you are done fishing your way to 150, you need to head south of the inn in Southshore and go talk to the fisherwoman called Lindia Rabone. She sells the recipe for the mithril head trout. Notice that it was possible to buy this recipe earlier in Booty Bay, so in case you have already bought it, you can skip this part. The next step is simple. You simply want to go to the inn in Southshore and stand by the fire and cook all the fishes that you have all the way to 150. Being done in Southshore, we will fly all the way to Refugee Point in Arathi Highlands, where we will then hop on our mount and go to the little lakes north of Stormguard Keep. There, we will be fishing about 100 mithril head trouts. But similar to in Southshore, the number of fish don't really matter. What matters is that we're able to cook and fish all the way to 225 skills. When you have enough fishes for the task, make sure to head back to the Southshore Inn and you can cook your fishes in the inn over there. So we should have reached the point where we are maxed out in our fishing and cooking at 225. And the next part to be able to increase our skills to 300 is actually one of the most iconic things with cooking and fishing in classic WoW, is that you don't do it through buying a book nor through buying your skills at a vendor, but rather it's through a quest that you have to do. Now, in order to prepare ourselves for this upcoming quest, we will take advantage of the fact that we are already north in the Eastern Kingdoms, so we are close to Hinterlands, and we're going to take that advantage to travel to Hinterlands to collect some of the items that we will need later to turn a quest to increase our cooking all the way to 225. What we are looking for more precisely is the giant eggs that drops from the owl beasts that are scattered all over Hinterlands. So we will kill a bunch of owl beasts until we get 12 giant eggs. Following this, we will be hopping on a flying path to Stormwind, where we will be doing a pit stop in the cheesery in the trade district in order to purchase 20 Alterac cheese from Elaine Trias. Continuing our journey south, we will be stopping in Stranglethorn Vale, more precisely in the little island north of Booty Bay when there's a bunch of Nagas. We're going to kill a ton of Nagas over there. They drop a big mouth clam, and opening the big mouth clam has a chance to drop a zesty clam meat. And we will need 10 zesty clam meat for the cooking quest. Also noteworthy is that the clams have a chance to drop a lot of pearls that can be very valuable and can sell for quite some price at the auction house. Now that we have all that we need for the cooking quest, even though we haven't picked it up yet, we are going to go to Booty Bay, take the boat to Ratchet, and slowly make our way to Theramore. Landing in Theramore, we will want to swim across, similar to when we go to Onyx's Lair, we swim across the water. But before crossing all the way through, we will make a stop in one of the small islands. On one of these small islands, there will be an NPC called Nat Pagel, which will be the NPC that will give you the quests to increase your fishing to 300. However, we will not be starting the quest right away, as before this we will be stopping in Tanaris, more specifically in Gadgetzan, to talk to Dirk Quickcleave, which is the cook that will give us the quest to increase our cooking to 300. Fortunately for us, we came well prepared and we already have all the ingredients in our bags. So we simply need to take the quest and turn it in right away in order for us to be able to have 300 cooking. Next, we will make our way east all the way to Steamweedle Port, where we will speak with the fisherman named Gikix, from which we will buy 3 recipes: the spotted yellowtail, the poached sunscale salmon, and the nightfin soup. Following our wanderings in Tanaris, we will be hopping on a flying path to Feathermoon Stronghold in Feralas, where we will be speaking with Viviana at the inn in order to purchase the recipe for the baked salmon. We are now ready to tackle the Nat Pagel fishing quest. The Nat Pagel fishing quest requires us to fish for 4 rare fishes in 4 different locations across the globe. The first of this location is in Feralas. Right south of Diramol, there is a little pond, and in this little pond, you will want to try to fish a Feralas Ahi. I would like to mention that although these fishes are labeled as rare fishes, they are fairly easy to catch and pretty quick. Normally only a few clicks of the fishing rods and you should be having your fish. Now that we have our Feralas Ahi, we will want to mount up and run north to Desolus, to the exact same location where we were looking for the dark iron fishing pole earlier, south of Shadowprey Village, and this time we will be fishing in the hopes of catching the Sartheris Striker. Know that if you haven't got your fishing pole earlier, this might be a good timing for you to do so. Once you have your fish and the fishing pole, I would recommend for you to Earthstone back all the way to Stormwind. From Stormwind, we would then like to fly to Darkshire, and from Darkshire we would run to the north of STV, and in the north of STV, close to Gromgold Base, all over the shore, the western shore of STV, you have a chance to catch a fish called the Savage Coast Blue Saffin. Know that I've had the best luck fishing close to the little waterfall south of Gromgold's camp. However, this has been the fish, of all the 4 fishes of the Nat Pagel quest, this has been the fish that has taken me the most time. It has nothing to do with being ganked in STV. I guess I just was lucky with RNG. Maybe you will have a different luck than me, and I absolutely wish you so. Normally, I would get these fishes within the first 10 clicks, and this one probably took me something around the lines of 40 to 50. After getting our Savage Coast Blue Saffin, we will run north back to Darkshire, and then take the flying path to Netherguard Keep in Blasted Lands, and from there we will make our way to Swamp of Sorrow all the way to the east coast, and over there we will be fishing, hoping to catch the Misty Reed Mahi. Once we have our 4 fishes, we simply need to return to our good friend Nat Pagel in Duskwallow Marsh and turn the quest in order for us to have fishing increased all the way to 300. This next and last section of the guide is one of the easiest, although one of the longest part of the leveling process. So the only thing that is required of us at this point is simply to go to Moonglade. And when we are in Moonglade, we can fish pretty much anywhere you want around Lake Alunara, although I have marked with an arrow my favorite location to fish because of the landscape that it provides. Over there, you will be able to fish all kinds of fish, such as the spotted yellowtail, the red gillfish, the sunscale salmon, the ninth-fin snapper, and white-scale salmon, which is going to vary depending on the time of the day that you want to fish. But for the leveling process, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that you want is to stay there and fish all the way to 225, which should give you almost the equivalent of 400 fishes in your bags, which is going to be more than enough to level the 75 points left of your cooking. Moreover, you already have all the recipes necessary in your bags in order to level the cooking, which I would suggest you do only when you have reached 300 in fishing. Now, the only thing that is left to say is congratulations to finally have reached 300 in fishing and cooking. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell for the content that will be popping out closer to TBC. And to all other TBC enthusiastic out there, I wish you a great preparation, and I hope to see you in Outlands.